Okay, so this is a short video, and I will explain what infrared sauna is, how does it work, and who is it for. It's a different sauna to a traditional sauna, so it may not be the one for everyone. So the first thing we'll try to understand is what is an infrared sauna, which brings us to this diagram here. So this is a light spectrum diagram. These are all the visible light that you can see, from purple, blue, so on, all the way to red. And if you use red light therapy, this is around this range here on the red light panels. Infrared is all the way here. This is the light that you cannot see. If you go further out, you would end up in microwaves, which we also can't see. So this is around the region where infrared light operates. It is basically on the light spectrum. It is a form of light, but we cannot see it. That's sort of what it is. And next diagram will show you how it interacts with the person, how it interacts with the body, which brings us to this diagram here. So the far infrared light goes all the way down to the muscle. So the further out you go in the infrared light, and the more it would penetrate the body. So it would heat up the muscle a lot more, like the internal temperature of the body, compared to any of the saunas would. So that's one of the qualities of an infrared sauna. It would heat up the internal temperature of the body a lot more than any of the saunas. There's pros and cons to this, but this is essentially how it works. In the next bit, I will compare how the infrared sauna differs from a traditional sauna. So which brings us to this diagram here. So this is how a traditional sauna works. It heats up the environment. You can either use either stones or any other sort of heater that would heat up the environment, and the hot air would soak up the room. Warm air rises, cools down, comes back around, and sort of until the whole environment is quite hot. And because the person's in that environment, the heat is then transferred to the person, and so the person becomes quite hot as well. So that's the mechanism of a traditional sauna. But infrared sauna is a bit different to this. Infrared sauna uses light panels which direct the infrared light beam directly at the person. So the person would become hot, but the environment would stay relatively cool. So if you were to touch the bench around you, you would still feel cold to the touch, but you may be sweating, you may be quite hot. So this is sort of how an infrared sauna works. It is a bit of an odd experience because everything around you is sort of room temperature, kind of cold, but you're quite warm. So that's essentially what it is. Next, there's maybe pros and cons to this approach. We'll get into that, some of the reasons why that is. So the number one reason, the difference between infrared sauna and traditional sauna, is the temperature. Like I said, infrared sauna doesn't get a high enough temperature, so it stays between 45 to 80 degrees, while a traditional sauna would get up to 80 to 100 degrees. That 80 to 100 degrees range is quite important when it comes to sauna use, because all the studies that talk about the benefits of sauna use, they've used a sauna that is between 80 to 100 degrees. They haven't used an infrared sauna between 45 to 60 degrees. So that's the important factor they need to remember, is the temperature. So I'm just going to go on a few more studies in the next bit, which will show you why the sauna temperature needs to be between 80 to 100 degrees if you're a healthy, normal person that can handle that sort of heat. I'm going to click on this link, which will take us to a website where I can find the studies that are related to the sauna. If we just scroll down and bring us to this page here. So this is the largest study that's been done with sauna, which is with 2,315 Finnish men. I'm just going to click on this link to open the study, and we can find out what temperature have they used in the study to find the results. So Control F, I'm going to look for temperature. Let's have a look. Okay, here. The recommended temperature for sauna is usually 80 degrees to 100 degrees. So that is in the largest study that's been done on sauna. The temperature is between 80 to 100 degrees, and all the benefits that you get with the sauna are with the sauna using the temperature of 80 to 100 degrees. It's not anything less than that. And this is also the case for all the different studies here that you can see as well. I would also visually show you sort of the difference between the heat of all the different saunas, which go to a further diagram here. So this is the heat profile for the three different saunas that you can buy today. So we start with the infrared sauna. So infrared sauna, like I said, because it would penetrate the body a lot more, it heats up the core temperature of the body quickly, almost the same as it would for the skin. And then another type of sauna that you can buy is a steam sauna, which also sort of does a similar thing, because you sweat, and the sauna it's a steam sauna. The sweat doesn't evaporate, so the temperature does quite rise quickly in that as well. And in a dry sauna, the skin temperature would rise first a lot more, and the core temperature would slowly follow up, gradually follow up. This is important because as the skin temperature rises quite quickly, the blood starts to pump to the skin a lot more, and this is sort of how you get a lot of the benefits that you get from sauna use, like cardiovascular benefits, skin benefits, that sort of thing. And the website is called thevitaflow.com. If you want to check out these studies, you can find them there. I'm just going to take you back to the Miro board and we look at. So since you've established that the sauna is best used between the temperatures of 80 to 100 degrees, then who is the sauna really for? This infrared sauna, which only operates between 45 to 60 degrees Celsius. So the answer is sort of straightforward. The sauna is really for someone who is heat sensitive, who cannot handle heat for whatever reason it might be, and an older person who may also prefer the cooler temperature, but you can still get some benefit from the sweating that you get from the sauna at the lower temperature, but you're not getting all the benefits that you would normally get from sauna use that people talk about. So this is essentially who the sauna is for. It is as if you cannot handle the heat, but if you're a normal healthy person who's looking to buy a sauna for the health benefits, I'll suggest to get a dry sauna that goes up to a temperature of 80 to 100 degrees, which would allow you to get all the different cardiovascular benefits and all the different benefits that are mentioned in all the different studies, and even Brian Johnson has talked about it as well. So that is my suggestion. And if you're looking to buy a sauna, you can come on this website and have a look. If it is your cup of tea, then we'll be happy to serve you. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching.